Recently, a delegation from Hollywood, led by actress Annette Bening, traveled to Tehran, Iran in an effort to ease cultural tensions regarding the film industry. President Ahmadinejad and Shia cultural clerics demanded an immediate apology from the entertainment barons regarding three despicable films: the movie 300, The Wrestler, and Not Without My Daughter. All of these films degrade members of the peaceful Muslim community. Now, in the movie 300, there is gratuitous sex and violence. Persians are portrayed as sick immorals who engaged in bestial acts. Based on a graphic novel, the movie 300 is a testament to the low end of our democracy. When pressed for an apology, Annette Bening refused. With me to discuss the film and her participation in it, joining me by satellite, actress Sally Field. Sally, in this movie, 300, you were raped and sodomized several times. Do you feel, will you now on this program, Amy Goodman's Democracy Now! With Amy Goodman, I'm your host, Amy Goodman, will you, Sally Field, apologize for your involvement and participation in this wicked film, 300?
Amy, I was in the movie Not Without My Daughter.
Miss Fields, in the movie you were insulted and humiliated repeatedly. What do you think that sort of sordid imagery says to women's rights, women of color, and to Democracy Now?
Amy, I was in the movie Not Without My Daughter.
Sally, will you apologize to President Ahmadinejad on this program? Amy Goodman's Democracy Now! With Amy Goodman. I'm your host, Amy Goodman. Joining me by satellite, actress Sally Field.
Well, Amy, I will not apologize for my performance in Not Without My Daughter.
Sally.
Amy, I wasn't in the movie 300. I don't know that movie. So, sorry.
Actress Sally Field, you refuse to apologize to the peaceful Muslim community, the people of Iran, and activists from around the world?
Amy, I will not apologize for my performance in the movie Not Without My Daughter.
Joining me by satellite, actress Sally Field. Executives with Warner Brothers were unavailable for comment. This is Amy Goodman's Democracy Now! With Amy Goodman. I'm your host, Amy Goodman. The 1992 inauguration of President Bill Clinton featured the solemn words of Poet Laureate Maya Angelou, an African-American and independent woman of color. This year, President Barack Obama, the first African-American elected to the Oval Office, chose someone else. This is Amy Goodman's Democracy Now! With Amy Goodman. I'm your host, Amy Goodman. Let's now conclude with Maya Angelou's poem written for Obama and pre-recorded for Amy Goodman's Democracy Now! With Amy Goodman. I'm your host, Amy Goodman.
Da-da-do. A rose hip in your pocket, an arm extended for a handshake. Black shadows stand bold behind you. Digital cameras flash before you. Sir Abraham was a small forward banging the boards. Daddy Do a point guard tossing free throws at the foul line. Daddy Do. You saw actor Jack Lord on the 5-0 set. Drank ice cream with some Dorothy in Kansas. Ate a manwich with a mobster in Chicago. Daddy Do. A rose hip in your pocket.
Poet Laureate, independent African-American woman of color, Maya Angelou. This is Amy Goodman's Democracy Now! With Amy Goodman. I'm your host, Amy Goodman. I'd like to personally thank today's guest, consumer advocate, corporate critic, and presidential candidate Ralph Nader, peace activist, and congressional candidate Cindy Sheehan, Baltimore Ravens All-Pro middle linebacker Ray Lewis, actress Sally Field, and the wonderful words of Maya Angelou. I'd also like to thank our associate producers, Walt Dickerson and Bobby Hutcherson, engineers Kelly Gregg, Brian Roberts, Grievous Vasquez, Wendy Zanarani, and Kim Brown, interns Jen Tapp, Brenda Goodman, Otis Gomez, Betty Kindle, Kim Wong, Zia Mohammed, and Chuck Stevens. I'd also like to thank Noam Chomsky, Cynthia McKinney, Sean Penn, Mark Crispin Miller, Gavin Newsom, Dennis Kucinich, David Murray, and Ramsey Clark. This is Amy Goodman's Democracy Now! With Amy Goodman. I'm your host, Amy Goodman.